Hey guys, welcome to Blind Connections. I'm your host, Yasmine Kavandi, and I'm joined today by the one and only, the amazing Mary Gallager.
That's me.
You've seen her on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, guest star on shows like Friends, Grey's Anatomy, How I Met Your Mother, NCIS, The West Wing, and currently she's hosting for Jay Leno at the Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank. So excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So Blind Connections is about finding connections between two people without them seeing each other. So today we have an employer and an employee, and we're trying to figure out if there is a connection.
Kind of the way you and I found each other.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
It was
right.
a bit blind.
That's
and
right.
Here we are.
That's right, and here we are. In future episodes, we're going to have investors, startup founders, and potential romantic partners. So stay tuned for that.
Sign me up for that one.
This is going to be exciting, guys. So welcome to the show,
Thank you. Thank
Jason and Adam.
Nice
to meet you.
This is the romantic version, right?
No.
Oh, it is not.
Oh,
I'm so
oh
sorry.
yeah, I thought I signed up for the romantic version.
Right,
Yes.
right. That's
Well,
going to be next week.
I'll see you next week.
Awesome. So, Jason, you're here to see if there is an opportunity that you might be interested in today.
Yes, absolutely.
And Adam, you have a potential opportunity, or maybe a few different opportunities, depending on the skill set and how everything goes today, right?
That I do, correct.
We have really cool questions, fun questions. They're not going to be your typical interview questions, guys. So yeah, let's get started. Starting with you, Jason. Tell us about you. Introduce yourself.
All right. Well, I am Jason Ferrone. I'm originally from New York. I'm a stand-up comedian. I do improv. I do different characters, and I wear a lot of different hats. I've done like real estate, property management, that kind of stuff. You know, the average things that a comedian does when he doesn't pay rent.
I've seen you on all those jobs, I'm sure.
Haven't you?
Right.
I think
We've
I rented to you at points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the studio, right?
That's how we survive.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
So you've done project management for different types of projects too.
I have, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
production.
Yeah,
type
production. I've shot things, edited. I can light. Maybe not as nicely as this. But I can do
You can do it
yeah,
all.
editing,
Yeah.
filming,
That
running
sounds
around.
awesome.
I like to run around on the street and well, no, I'm not homeless. I mean I like to find a good box to sleep in. No, I run around on the street doing a show where I just kind of talk to people. It's like a game show / talk show on the street, kind of like when Kimmel goes out, but
Oh,
I move
neat.
around.
Oh, cool. What's
Yeah,
it
yeah.
called?
Street Cracks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
clever.
That sounds really cool.
Street cracks.
That's awesome. Cool.
Oh,
So
look, the employer already likes it.
I like it. I like it.
How do you like
he
that?
seems very
Yeah.
impressed.
Yeah, from the other side of the fan.
Street. Why is it? What's with the cracks? Is it like crack on the side of the street, like you step over, like don't break on your you know, what's that thing? What's
Mother's back,
Yeah,
right?
don't
Yeah.
step on a crack.
No,
or break
no,
your
we're
mother's
just
back.
all high when we do it.
You just go high.
Oh, I was thinking
That's right.
sidewalk.
My kind of show.
No,
Yeah.
you were
I will be
thinking,
watching.
no,
Yeah.
it's actually perfectly paved. We're just smoking in between takes.
So Adam, please
Yes.
introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself.
My name's Adam. I lived in New York for a while. I was born in Staten Island, but I'm not, you know, I grew up in Pennsylvania, but then I lived in New York for a while, and I was producing, directing, some stand-up comedy. Now I'm living in LA, and I'm producing and directing, and currently we have a film, my production company, we have a film, and we are looking for some talent, and you came up to me and told me about this amazing opportunity to potentially look for talented folks, and so that's why I am here.
Awesome. Well, that sounds
I would
really
like to
good.
point out, I love
Yes.
that Mary heard you were from Staten Island. She went, oh, and then you said, but I grew up in Pennsylvania. She went, oh.
Yeah, she's more disappointed that I grew up in
Total-
Pennsylvania.
I honestly,
Total letdown.
I was thinking of Sex in the City episode where they go to Staten Island on the ferry.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
what was
that's
going in
people
my
think
mind.
of.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes, it's
And
a
the
beautiful
scrunchy.
ferry and a
Yeah.
beautiful view.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
Awesome. Well, how do you guys?
Wish I was over there kind of view.
So how do you guys feel about this? You're not seeing each other. You're just hearing each other's answers.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little too early to ask this, but how do you feel?
I feel like
about
I'm in a confessional right now. Like this kind of,
Yeah.
like,
Father
confess me your
Jason.
sin,
Right.
please.
I feel a little priesty.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I could deal with that voice. That's pretty good. I could.
Wait, my voice?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a
It's
good-
just
Wow.
You got
soothing.
a fine
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
I did
Thank you.
voiceover for years, so I know a good voice. You got a good one.
He does have a good voice.
Are you hiring?
Sounds like it.
I also have a project.
This could go either way.
Yeah, this could
these
go either
days.
way.
Yeah.
Sounds like a,
We both have a confession.
sounds like a
now.
good start to
We
me.
have a lot of confessions, but I don't think this show is for confessions.
No.
We'll hold that for
We'll,
next
we'll,
time.
we'll see where the questions
Yes.
go.
It will be.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jason, what did you study? Did you study something that's related to what you do today professionally?
Well, I mean, I graduated from FIT in New York, the Fashion Institute, as you can see.
Of course.
And,
I can.
yeah, well, you will in a moment. It's not impressive.
Take my word for it.
Yeah. It's a shirt and jeans. It's fine.
I believe it's aqua. Would that be the color?
Yes. You know
Yeah.
what? I would say you're right about that.
Not a lot of people pull off aqua.
Thank you.
You do.
Yes. I've been told I have the skin for aqua.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Sure do.
I'm
As
an
an em-
oceany person, I
As an
guess.
employer, that is good to know.
Isn't it great?
We
That's
kind of
very
gave
good
it
to
away a
know.
little bit.
Yeah, great. Now he knows I have an olive complexion. So I got an advertising marketing degree. That was really just for my mother. I literally sent it to her. I went, I don't need this shit. I'm going into stand-up. So no really prerequisites there other than being funny.
Has she been able to do anything with the degree you gave her?
Nothing.
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 Not
at
even for
all.
her.
She framed it. I didn't even frame it. I sent it in the tube.
It cost her $4.99.
Exactly. Plus tuition. So it's like, this is for you anyway. So I did that, and then I started doing the stand-up, which, of course, as you know, doing stand-up, and you do on the other side here, that you kind of teach yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yes.
kind of, for me, it's kind of hard to understand the concept of, I'm sorry, to teach someone kind of, I mean,
Sure.
you can hone, but I don't think you can absolutely put it in there. You know, like, you're funny or you're not, you can just get better at it. But to take someone who's just dead ass dry, be like, I'm going to teach you how to be a comedian.
Oh,
I don't know.
absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
And-
more therapy. I think
Yeah.
a lot of what
Yes,
I do is more
for sure.
transformational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with
And
any
it's
art,
cheaper than therapy.
I mean, I think with any art, you take a painting class, you take an
Yeah.
acting class. It's
Yeah.
more just a guide to
Yeah.
help
Right.
you, and then what you take from that and then put out into the real world is really,
Yeah. Like, I
How
did
you find your
Groundlings.
art.
Absolutely
I
right.
did Groundlings. I did Iowa. However, remember we were talking about Andy Dick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to IO West, and he's got the Andy Dick Theater there, you know, that box theater. I don't even know if it's still open on Hollywood. But I went there, and I got kicked out of IO West after
In
going to the
true Andy Dick
I
form.
Shit you not. I got kicked out, and I was like, why? He goes, it looks like you're a stand-up doing improv. I went, you nailed it. I'm a stand-up doing improv. He goes, well, that's not funny. I went, well, the entire class is laughing. That's usually how I judge humor. If people are laughing, he's like, you know what? I think you should leave. I called Andy Dick. I was like, hey, I just got kicked out of your theater. He went, so did I, buddy. I was like, okay. So that's really the background. But it made sense to me because I was kicked out of every school I've ever gone to in my life.
That's usually a
yeah.
good
I could say-
sign.
Were you like
Yeah.
the class
That's a good
clown, for lack of better
yeah,
words?
Yeah, something about they thought it was
Yeah.
their classroom, you know, stuff like that. But it was literally, it was private, Catholic, military, and public. That's the
Wow.
hard one.
Oh.
I even public figured out how to get rid of me.
If you get kicked out of this today, will it be a win?
It will.
It will.
Well, I don't know if it'll be a win, but it will make sense to
It
me.
will. It'll all come full circle.
Make a
Yes.
lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm looking for an employee who's been kicked out of all their jobs.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, Jesus, that's
Yes.
right. I'm trying to sell
That's-
myself here.
Yes,
I think
that's
you're
what I'm
doing-
looking for.
I think you're doing very well.
Completely forgot.
No, I've been fired too. I think it's part of the artist's life. I feel like who hasn't been
Yeah.
fired, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And
what
if you
what
haven't,
an understanding
you have not
employer we
upheld
have here.
your right to
Very
be an
Yeah.
individual.
Yeah.
Come talk to me after.
You shouldn't
Right.
be okay with everything.
Yeah.
That was, by the way, such a long answer to
I
to
just,
that
I know
question.
I went on and
I
on.
love
I'm
it,
so
though.
Yeah.
sorry.
I love
Again,
it,
the
but-
question was, where were you born? And we got to Andy Dick's.
know. Thank God we have
Restraining
editors.
order.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, Adam, the same question for you. What did you study? Is it related to what you do today?
Oh, I studied musical theater in Pittsburgh. I don't do musical theater today, but living in New York for 10 years, hustling in the streets and doing stand-up comedy and producing shows, that was the best
not the best education, for
I could
sure.
possibly have. Yeah. So that's my answer to that question.
What are
Great.
some of your favorite musicals that you've been in?
Oh, some of my favorite musicals that I've been in.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. I really liked Contact. Do you know Contact at all? It's more of a dance musical.
Oh,
I did it in
wow.
college, but it was a great learning experience. I figured out, I learned how to swing dance.
Ooh.
So that was really cool. What else? 42nd Street. I love tap dancing. This is getting gayer and gayer as I keep going on.
You can tap dance, huh?
Yeah, I can tap dance.
Wow.
I mean, I'm a little rusty, but
Yeah.
it's still.
We're
I
also
still
on
love
carpet,
it.
so-
And we're on carpet. I'm sitting down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, those are just some of my favorite
Neat.
musicals.
that's awesome.
How cool.
Okay,
That,
so
that did get gay. He's right. It got very gay.
It could get gayer if we keep talking about musicals.
Right.
It sure could.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
It always gets good when it gets gayer.
Yeah. This might turn romantic, actually.
it might.
Yeah.
We've been in a confessional booth before, haven't we?
We sure have. This is the body of who?
So, Jason, this
Yes.
is questions for you. Do you consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert?
I think I know this
I
answer.
think.
I am on a podcast, so I would say extrovert. I would. You know what though? They have this thing where you're an extroverted introvert,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I actually think that's kind of what I am. It's like an innie outie.
Yeah.
That sounds weird. I'm the belly button of personalities. I do. I feel like I'm very outgoing, but then I'm like,
Do you need to replenish, Jason, and kind of then go inward after you've been out there?
I love to be like center of attention and
Yeah.
then walk away and be like, okay,
Yeah.
now it's me.
Yeah.
Now it's me and me until I want more.
It's
So-
Jason's mic drop.
Yeah,
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
She's like, that's not an introvert, that's a dick.
I don't know if that's an introvert.
Yeah.
So when are you introverted?
Let me think.
Yeah.
This morning I was a little bit when I was steaming this shirt, which I did for you because people
Yeah.
have a problem with wrinkles today.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You're a quiet steamer.
I'm a quiet steamer. Now, actually, I was yelling at customer service when I did that, but still, I was alone in my home with my puppy, and I felt very introverted then.
All right, good to know. I'll
You
write
look
that
great.
down.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah,
Steaming introverter.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah, I think-
rare. Let's go with it's rare.
I think you're doing very well.
Thank
for your
you.
interview.
Thank you.
What about you, Adam?
You know, I have done stand-up and I love performing, but that's really when I'm more of an extrovert.
Okay.
But after that, I've turned more of an introvert. I like to keep to myself. I'm an only child. So, yeah, that's the answer to that question.
Okay.
Um,
So that you
but
just, you love just having your own time, your personal time. That's important to you.
Yeah, I don't like being the center of attention necessarily
Okay.
in just normal settings, but when it comes to being on stage, then I like to be that center of attention.
That's when you're energized.
That's when I'm
and-
energized,
I love
yes, for
that.
sure.
That's really cool.
Go ahead.
Great. So, Jason, what do you
Yeah.
like to do for fun?
In private or there's two answers that I
nothing
could
too
give you. here.
private.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I like to work out, and actually love taking long walks. I take long walks, and I mean not only is it exercise, it just moves the body, it feels good, but I also do a lot of like filming of like stock footagey stuff for my show. While I'm
Wow.
like this morning, I took my dog for a walk down Melrose, and there's just so many cool things like art and like rough things that you
Yeah.
can kind of put into that gritty kind of LA
Yeah.
feel for the show. Like I even filmed a couple of bird scooters and I just kicked them over. That'll be a good insert. Had a nice bell sound when it fell. Didn't pick them up.
I feel like Melrose is probably the best place to walk around and
Yeah, Hollywood Boulevard and Melrose are really, really interesting. I mean, watch for the needles, but still.
Yeah. But
you
it's
know.
a great place for you to vandalize. I get it.
Yeah, because you can't tell.
Yeah, right. And
You
it's not
can't
like we have
tell.
stock footage of when you were there
Exactly.
with the actual event on tape. But what's the name of the podcast
I
again?
like to document my crimes,
And then present them to my
Yeah.
potential employer.
and then I go viral. Oh my God, I keep forgetting it's an interview.
No, I'm
It
taking
really
this all
is.
down.
He
He's
likes-
violent.
Yeah.
He's been fired. These are all
Likes
top
to
quality.
kick public
Yes.
property.
yeah. We'll see.
It's a great steamer. Great steamer.
Great
even though I can't
steamer.
see your shirt.
when she asks, "Is there anything you need to work on?" You won't have to answer that question.
No, 'cause
It
I will- I
I've
will
already
feel
done
no.
it.
I think you've already answered that.
Yeah. She's like, we know what you need to work on.
Okay, so Adam,
Yes.
what do you like to do for fun?
What do I like to do for fun? I think the older I get, the more I like to stay home. That's fun.
I can relate to that.
You can relate to
honestly.
that?
Yeah.
But I love dancing. I love going to the beach. I love going to the theater. I know we talked about musical theater earlier. I love going to the movies. That's what I like to do.
That sounds great.
Yeah. I guess what else?
I'm headed to New York in a couple of weeks. Is
Okay.
there a show out there that you would suggest right now?
There's
or
a show,
any favorites?
I think that's really popular right now. That's very funny, which you might like.
Yeah.
Called Oh Mary, about Mary Todd Lincoln.
Really?
And there's a dude in drag. He's dressed as Mary Todd, and it seems to be going really well. People are saying it's really funny. So I haven't seen it. I would love
Yeah.
to see it, but perhaps
Nice.
go check that out.
With a title like
I
that,
was gonna
Oh
say,
Mary,
Mary,
how
you
could I
gotta
not
go
go?
now.
You gotta go.
Right?
It's gay as hell.
And then when they,
Yeah.
Your last name is Gallager, right?
Yeah.
So I thought at first, of course, you know the Molly Shannon character.
yeah,
Yeah.
my
Mary-
doppelganger,
Exactly.
right?
I was
yeah.
like, when you get nervous,
Yeah, do you do this?
ever?
Yeah, and
Was
I
he, is he
do.
sniffing his
Yes.
armpits?
I was.
yeah.
Okay.
Mary
Yeah.
Catherine Gallager, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
that,
what a
yeah.
phenomenal actor is she.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote her a letter, just telling her what a fan I was.
Right.
And she wrote back and she told me that Mary Gallagher, the name actually was a friend of hers in school. And I was like, that's so neat. But I mean,
Yeah.
what a phenomenal career Molly Shannon has had.
I heard that it took her a while to get that Mary. Like she had to
Really?
convince the SNL writers to
Really?
put that on because no one was like,
Wow.
we like it, but we don't like it.
Oh,
And I think they
how
put it on
interesting.
Sniffing
once.
armpits and smashing end tables.
Right?
I think
So
that's great.
flexible with
That's
the
not how to
Sounds
win.
great to me.
right, and then you saw a little bit of the underwear. Wasn't that the best? Her skirt
yeah.
would go up, and
Absolutely.
yeah, just
Had the pad hanging out at times.
I didn't catch that,
You
but
didn't catch
really,
that? Look
serious?
closer.
Okay,
the pad was coming out.
Jason's zooming in on his TV.
That's right. Hang on a
Yeah.
second. Let me check this
I
character
don't know
out.
where this conversation is going, honestly.
He's already hired. He's already
Just
hired.
want to
That's
Yeah.
I got the job.
Don't
want to
tell him that.
apologize
Yeah.
to Molly Shannon and her crew at CAA.
Yes.
Great.
They're canceling my meeting.
Okay, so next question is for you, Jason.
Yes.
If you could relive a day in your life, which day would you pick and why?
Oh boy, I don't think it's happened yet. Honestly, it goes to show you how great this life is going. You know what? If I had to pick one, I think it would be there was like 1 week of my life that made total sense. It was when I was shooting that pilot. I went in and everything felt right. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was doing what I was meant to do. Go in, entertain, be funny.
Which
be able to
pilot is
improv.
this, Jason?
This was something called Big Top that they're shopping right now.
Okay.
And we shot it in Burbank a couple years ago.
Okay.
And it was a pilot presentation. And we did the whole thing, and it came out amazingly. But that was the day I was like staying in a hotel, getting up,
Wow.
going to hair and makeup, doing different characters. And I'm not a good worker. Oh, Jesus, again, here.
I love that. I love non-good workers.
Don't you
Right.
love
It's a great
when,
quality.
when a possible employee goes, listen, I hate work and I'm not good at it.
This
But
is
it's
why
the-
we're doing this.
Well, I love
Exactly.
the honesty that's going on,
Just see,
Yeah.
well, at least I'm not a liar.
right?
Honestly, as an employer, I appreciate the honesty. So that's
Yes.
an A plus.
I'm
Check,
telling
check,
you
check.
ahead of time. Don't expect a lot.
I know. Well, this is why we do that. I'm getting to know
You're getting
a
to know
potential
me.
Yeah.
employee.
Usually I wait
So-
for 2 weeks in to let you know I'm a letdown.
Yeah.
But no,
No,
right
there's
up
no
front for this
surprises.
one.
Front.
But yeah, so that whole week felt just like, and then I would go to bed feeling good, wake up feeling good, like the world made sense. And then
Yeah.
that week was over and I went right back to depression.
Okay, you were in your
So-
element, huh?
Yeah, I was in my element.
Yeah.
So that would be days that I relive. If I could do that every day. So the reason I said I'm not a good worker is because I'd be there 12, 14 hours.
Right.
It would feel like nothing. I
Yeah.
could go another 12.
Wow.
Nothing felt like work.
I think that's a real reality in Los Angeles, though, don't
Yeah.
you? Especially for those of us who are performers and actors, is that we have these opportunities,
Yeah.
and for a week we're like, oh wow, we're on set, we're with a cast,
that
we're
taste.
and then it's a kick swift back to reality,
Yeah.
to your other life. That's
And what sucks is like you go, I'm not happy. And then when you get that little taste, you're like, I'm friggin' ecstatic. And you're like, you know what? I was right. I was depressed. If I got what I wanted, I would be happy. I was right. Screw my therapist.
Wow.
It is my career.
Your career makes you happy.
Well, doing what you
Want
are
to
meant
do,
to
right.
do. in your
And-
mind
Right.
makes, I believe
course.
everybody, whatever their gift is, that's what they should be able to do in life.
You don't want to feel like you're working. That's the worst feeling. It's like, oh, I gotta
Yeah.
go to work. Oh, I gotta wake up.
I-
It doesn't
I
feel like
would-
work.
I would like to say, though, that happiness is inside of you and that you can have that feeling
Yeah.
back on Monday when you're not on that pilot. Because
How so?
because everything that you were feeling when
Yeah.
you're thinking that it
Right.
was the outer world of you being on that pilot, but you wouldn't have been able to experience that if it wasn't inside of you. So you're
Yeah.
actually creating that joy. That joy
Yeah.
is yours. And you
It just pulled it
realizing
out.
that it didn't pull you out. You're the one who is manufacturing it.
Yeah.
Nobody can pull anything out of you. You are responding and reacting to the outside world.
Yeah.
So everything that you were feeling is 100% in your control
Yeah.
to show up Monday morning when you're working for this guy.
Yeah. I want you to know I'm going to
know
delusionally pretend I'm on a set in a show when I work for you.
I think that's a good
Thanks.
strategy.
Every day.
I mean, are you having fun now?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this doesn't feel like work. This is fun.
But it's you.
This is funny.
It's what you are bringing to it. It's not anything we're pulling out of you. It's actually what you are showing up in the world as right now.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess you're
true.
welcome.
Yeah, we all need to take Mary's class. You should take your class.
There you
It's
go.
therapy.
Thank
There you
you.
go.
I know.
Inspirational.
But look at this. I'm getting a free
I
coaching.
Yeah.
love this. We should hang out all the time.
Right?
I love this.
I'm going to take you with me on my next walk.
Screw Big Top. It's
Exactly. Exactly. We'll
Yeah.
vandalize together.
you. Good.
I see Mary knocking over scooters and things. Yeah.
Exactly. Wow.
Crying. I don't want to
Sure
do
this
this.
is okay?
They're really having a breakthrough.
Okay, so same question for you, Adam. If you could relive a day in your life, what day, would
Day
it be?
in my life. I would go back to, this is going to sound so awful, COVID.
Probably a
enjoyed
really
it.
difficult time, though.
Yeah.
For the entertainment business.
It's been a difficult time the past few years, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah.
I will tell you, during COVID, it was the highest output of content that I
Okay.
ever did.
Okay, because you had pause to just
I've-
focus on what you wanted to do.
I used the entire wardrobe room I had. I ran around. I was with someone who I'm not with anymore, and I was at a big house in Malibu.
Wow.
And I just used the entire thing, like my TikTok set.
Okay.
And just
Wow.
ran around shooting everything.
Wow.
And then would reward myself
With a camera.
with a pool afterwards.
Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is that when you started your TikTok?
Yeah.
Wow.
It started, I had a manager at Untitled, and he's like, "Will you get your ass on TikTok?" I was like, "Isn't it all little girls dancing?" And he's like, "No, not anymore. Get back
Yeah.
on."
Well, and you were in your element again, right? Like you
Yes,
really enjoyed
I'm
being on that
so
pilot,
happy.
so you just created the whole world for yourself. Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
was
like the
great.
world of influencing and influencers really exploded, especially during COVID, because we were all
Yeah,
trapped at home.
totally.
Yeah.
Right.
Having to watch things, or people wanted to create things. And
Yeah.
And you were really providing a service, because people got really depressed. I mean,
Yeah.
getting locked
Yeah.
in. Not everyone was in a nice home. They
Right.
were in little apartments.
Right.
locked
We
up,
could just view
know,
you in
and-
your home.
Exactly.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
Malibu home that you're no longer with this guy.
Yeah. Does that make you feel a little good?
No, as your potential employer, it makes me feel great.
Yes. Yes.
Was it violence?
Oh God.
He's casting a movie.
My lord.
We need someone who can really kick a scooter.
Right.
You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
You found your guy.
Okay, so Jason, this question is for you. What's the biggest red flag for you when it comes to working for an employer?
I think if they're too stringent in their policies, like if they have a set way of doing things, and you can kind of tell when you're talking to a person, it's my way or get out.
highway.
And I kind of like people that, I understand it's your business, you have a certain way you want to run things, but still, I like it when they're open to suggestion, because if something could be done more efficiently or effectively, maybe they don't realize, because they're sitting at their desk and you're in the field, and you go, "Hey, here's something I'd like
Yeah.
to bring to you." And if it doesn't
Sure.
feel like you can do that with that person,
Yeah.
that's not going to work for me.
If they're like too much of a micromanager. And
Yeah,
to
or
report
like it
every
has to
little
be done
thing.
this way, and
Yeah.
you're like, "No, it doesn't. There's a better way to do it."
Yeah.
And if they're not even open to listening to that and comparing it, the hell with
Yeah.
them. I'm
Yeah.
not interested in
I
working
hear
for
you.
a place like that.
Yeah.
For sure. Adam, how do you feel about that?
Oh no, I agree with him for sure. Especially
Like,
as
I am a micromanager. What are
as
you
an
talking about?
artist, you got to be open to idea, and a producer and director. You hear, so many different opinions and views, and you should be open to it because sometimes that opinion or view can really change your movie or your character or whatever it is that you're working on.
Sure.
It could really help.
The worst thing that happens is you say no.
Or you
Best
say
thing
no.
that happens is it improves.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no downside to
Sure.
hearing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just being open to that, to hearing new.
I think
Yeah.
just as a human being, we got to be open, right,
Yeah.
to anything and everything for the most part.
Yeah, great
Right.
point, Adam. Right? It feels like that was a great platform for all relationships, right?
Everything
Even
you do,
just
you
not a
should be
player.
open
Yeah.
to change if it
Yeah,
improves.
when we close off, then it's like, oh, so difficult, right? On ourselves even to not be like open in the presence of who we're with.
Well, you stop growing.
Yeah, I feel like
Who
I did
wants
that
to
for
stop?
so
You should,
long.
you should be learning your whole life.
I know, right?
Yeah, really, for
Yeah.
sure.
Totally.
Hired. You're hired.
That's the third
I
hire
feel like this
got
is
out of
going
this.
really well.
Yeah.
I have a
Hiring you
feeling.
for 3 different jobs.
I
Right?
know. Wouldn't it suck if I turned all 3 down?
Right. I know.
I'm so sorry, Adam.
I'm busy.
It just doesn't feel right.
So, Adam, what is your biggest red flag when it comes to hiring someone?
When it comes to hiring somebody, I think is some confidence. I like
Okay.
someone who is confident. I like someone who is sure of himself. I like someone who's honest, to be honest. I think those are not red flags. Those
Okay.
are more, I guess, green flags,
Yeah.
right?
You
Being
want to
honest.
see in someone?
What I want to see in
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're interviewing somebody and they have that very, dare I say, fake, I don't want to say fake, but just, they're answering the
Not very genuine. in
genuine
their
and they're
answers.
answering the questions correctly.
Yeah.
That to me, I feel that as a red flag. That's not somebody who I'm attracted to as far as working goes.
Like
Sure.
stock answers, right?
Stock answers, yes.
Like, what is your biggest flaw or whatever? And
Weakness, and
Weakness,
like,
right? That's always
I'm a
a tricky one.
perfectionist.
Yeah, you'll get none of
Yeah.
that
I don't wanna
from
hear
me.
that
Oh,
ever
yeah.
again.
When you
Yeah.
kind of compliment yourself with your problem.
Yeah.
There was this
Right.
one thing.
I have so much attention to detail. It's annoying.
It's too much.
Yeah, there's this one thing I was
up.
working on.
I never miss anything.
Exactly.
There's one thing I was working on, and I invited this gentleman out to a bar just to connect and everything, but he declined it because he was afraid that he was not going to be the most beautiful person in the room. And to me, that was a red flag. I was like, wow, that's
Wow.
That sounds strange.
What the
that
hell
sounds
was-
strange.
What
Yeah,
the hell
I
was
just-
this interview?
Right.
I invited a guy to a bar. He was afraid
No,
he would be
it's
the hottest guy
showbiz.
there.
He had an
It's show.
aqua shirt on.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, was
the
that?
interview was through Grindr.
Yeah.
That's where I find my employees.
Sound
Yeah.
familiar, Jason?
Yeah, I got double tapped today.
Jason, how do you show your appreciation to a boss or to, someone on your project that you're working
Yeah.
with if they're doing a really good job and they're really helping you?
Again, is this in private or
There's nothing private about
Nothing
this.
private.
Only the
Okay.
world is watching,
Except-
Jason.
right.
Okay.
Except
All
me, I
right.
can't see you.
Except
No,
for
I meant,
Adam.
no. When you said how do you show your appreciation, I meant is that in private
Yeah.
or in
Yeah.
the office?
That's your introvert. So.
Right. That's my introvert. How do I show appreciation to them? I don't know. I feel like doing the good job
Okay.
is kind of showing the
So
appreciation.
through actions.
Yeah,
really.
through
Okay.
through your actions. Like you gave me the opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
perform, and my appreciation for that is I'm going to perform well. That's kind
That's
of
a
how
good
I see
answer.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very symbiotic.
So it's not really
relationship.
words like, hey, thank you.
Yeah. I'm not
Okay.
bringing them an apple or something like I'm in kindergarten.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a good job.
Do a good job.
Yeah.
And then there should be mutual appreciation, I feel.
Great. And so what do you expect in terms of what kind of appreciation do you expect in return from them?
I think what feels best to me is like, for instance, one time I was in a leasing position and I had closed so many different properties and apartments and stuff like this, right in this area actually in Hollywood, that I was just given complete leeway to make the deals, to go out. I didn't have to get approvals anymore. They gave me a unit. They just handed me a lot. They said, you have keys to all the portfolio. As long as you live here, we'll give you a free law. As long as you work here, we'll give you a free law. So that was kind of like, that showed me a lot of appreciation because
Yeah.
I was making them tons of money.
Yeah.
They were getting bank
Sure.
loans for new buildings because of how many closes I was doing. So the better I was doing, the less they cared.
More
the dress code
incentives.
went away.
Wow.
I could bring my dog in for lunch. They had catered, like whatever I wanted.
Yeah, a lot
As
of
long-
trust there.
A lot of trust.
Yeah.
And of course, it didn't start that way. You prove yourself. And that was how they showed me appreciation. And they gave me more money, which didn't hurt.
It's always the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
Did you
So-
find, you talked earlier about not having to feel like you're working. When you were doing
Right.
that job, did you feel like you were working as you grew within the company?
Not really, because again, I had less rule. I'm not. It just may come as a shock
Right,
to
you
everyone.
like to
I
be
don't
your own
really like
boss.
We're
rules.
learning
Yeah,
that.
I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to, because listen, I'll take a job if I know I can do it. I'm not going to try to go in and do something I hate, or just try to fake it till I make. If I go, I can sell. So I can lease, I can sell, I can do real estate, I can do comedy, and these are the type of things I'm drawn to. So if I go in and I'm doing that good job, leave me alone. Let me do the goddamn important thing, which is make you money and go away.
Yeah.
Say thank you, I'll do my thing, you do yours, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how to do it. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Again, just a quick reminder that this is an interview. I'm just kidding.
So sorry.
Leave me alone. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want, Yasmine.
How dare you call me?
Yeah.
That's so
exactly.
funny.
Tell me where the
This is
location
best
is to show
interview.
up to.
Now I have
Can
to
you
say
imagine?
I do interview a lot. You know, we have a lot of technology projects. So
Right.
every project brings in new opportunities. I have to hire a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I have to say none of them has been as informative and fun and
Yeah.
and interesting as this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're just being ourselves rather than trying to impress one another. And just like you said, give typical answers and
I think you're
So I
more
think it's really
honest
cool.
when you don't care if you get the job or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
No, I think that's how you have to be. Is you just cannot.
Yeah.
I can't say the F word or whatever. But
Yeah.
you cannot give a
Yeah, you're not too
just-
worried about it.
I'm curious, Yasmine, how would you feel if you were conducting this interview? Because I know you told me you conduct hundreds of interviews. If this was an employer for you, how do you feel about the honesty and the truthfulness going on?
Yeah, I have to say I really appreciate the honesty. I appreciate just being ourselves rather
Yeah.
than pretending to for me to be on my best behavior and you to be on your best behavior and pretending that we're
exhausting.
perfect and
Yeah.
and just sometimes even exaggerating the skill set and what we bring to
Wow.
the table. So I think just being real allows for us to just connect on a deeper level as humans first,
Yeah.
So what I'm
See if
hearing
there's
is
a
everyone would
connection.
hire me? Is that what I'm
You're,
getting?
you're
here?
in demand.
I think so.
I'm sitting here creating work right now for you.
Unbelievable.
Right.
I'm here for
I'm gonna
you.
have to agree with that.
Wow.
Need a professional scooter kicker.
Hey.
And you're gonna love this next question.
Can't wait.
I know. Okay, so what is something that you think might be a negative personality trait that you want to see change in yourself?
I wish my exes were here right now.
We'd have a panel.
Because we could have a new podcast.
It'd be a whole new show.
Yeah.
A whole new show. Much longer, too.
Right.
Oh, man. Well, let me see. It's not, mental illness is not a trait, right? That's just something you have.
Yeah.
So
We all got it.
Yeah,
Can you
believe me,
imagine
we're all
a
sitting
a
here.
bipolar comedian? Get out of here. So
Are you bipolar?
Yes. Does that help?
Yeah, no.
You're hired.
Yes.
You're so hired now?
Put that on your resume.
No, I think I think it may sound very childish, but I do like have an arrested development aspect to me. So I would just get very irritated if things do not go my way. And I'm not saying like I'll throw a temper tantrum, but I'll plan ahead about how I want something, an event or anything, an effort that I put into something unfold. And even though I can roll with it, there'll be little tantrums, in adult-style tantrums
Yeah.
that happen instead of just accepting it.
Yeah.
And I could probably work on that.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
the irritation and
Yeah.
the anger, which as stand-ups know, a lot of our comedy comes from anger.
Well, and
so
something-
there's something good
Something's
that comes
hitting
up.
your stuff inside, right?
Yeah,
we
yeah,
get
yeah.
triggered,
Yeah.
and then it's how we respond or react.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I kind of idle at Pissed, so it doesn't take much.
Idle at Piss, band name, called it.
Exactly, Pissed and Pacing. That's my biography. Yeah. So I think I don't know.
That's a
maybe
good
that.
answer.
Yeah.
I
Thank
like
you.
that. So what about you, Adam?
I have to work on my patience.
Oh, wow.
I can be a very impatient human being at times.
Jason's taking notes.
You're
Oh
taking
my,
notes.
no, I that's with me too. I get it.
Yeah, I don't, maybe it's an artist thing of the patience. Maybe we always, or just maybe a human nature thing. We always want
Really?
it perfectly right then and
Yeah.
there, done at this time. No drama, no stress. But that's just
I would
that's
think
just
that,
life.
you know, as artists, you guys probably need to have a lot of patience because
Hence why I got to work on it more. Yes.
Okay.
I
What
need to
have you
a lot more
found, Adam,
patience.
to sink into that? Like, what has served you when you're learning to be more patient?
This is going to sound such a corny answer, but breathing. Just taking that deep breath, calm yourself down, realize the situation that you're in before you make that crazy move that you thought you were going to make or say that crazy thing you were supposed to say.
Yeah.
So therefore, you don't, shoot yourself in the foot, for the lack of better words.
I think that's huge. I mean, I have found nothing greater than that, right?
Yeah.
Literally just coming into the present, being in the present, and the breath work.
Yeah, that quick
Hot
meditation.
yoga.
Right?
And hot
Yoga
yoga.
does a
love
lot.
that.
Don't
Yeah.
you love it?
I
Hot
love it.
yoga. It's
You do
great.
hot yoga? I'm not a
I-
big fan of yoga.
Really?
I do. I did it for. I mean, I still do, but I was doing it like religiously for a couple years there.
I love that, but I think also just in the reality of day to day, right? Without a class, without being somewhere that is offering a technique, to just stopping and breathing. It's huge.
It's huge, and it really, truly does make a huge difference
Yeah.
in that moment, in that day.
Yeah,
in
because it's the
whatever.
awareness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a massage therapist that actually told me that I hold my breath.
Really?
That's how he went. You are such a tense
Wow.
person. Because he went. That's a main thing I focus on when I'm working with someone's body. He went. I've never seen someone hold their breath like
Do you think
did.
that's
Wow.
true? Do you think you've done that?
After he pointed it out? I
Really?
guess so. Yeah.
Was that awareness valuable then for them to point that out to you?
Sure. I mean, nothing changed, but still.
I think
still
you
hold my
mean-
breath.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Exactly.
I think you're just naturally. I think you just have a natural ball of energy, which is something I'm sort of. I wish
Yeah.
I could have. I'm more like chill, relaxed. But you like just to talk, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe that's what happens. You just have a lot of energy, and then maybe
Yeah.
that stresses the body out.
And
Also,
or,
like if you're tensing, like just to release a little bit, like you like that feeling of like if you tense your abs or tense
Yeah.
your arms
Yeah.
or something, it's hard to breathe naturally while doing ab work sitting in a chair.
Sure. Yeah,
You know
of
what I
course.
mean? So you're gonna be like,
And
it's
maybe
gonna
that-
be awkward.
Maybe that's why you're drawn to your introverted time as well.
Yeah, because I'm probably not flexing.
Yeah. Yeah. While you're steaming.
Yes,
Yeah.
steaming and
Flex and
flexing.
steam.
Yeah.
So, Jason, have you ever been really disappointed in an employer or just even hurt by what they've done?
Have I ever been hurt by an employer?
Maybe
don't-
hurt's not the right word.
You know
'cause
what?
emotionally-
Actually, yes, there
Okay.
was. I managed a property for like 9 years, and my father was dying at the time, and
sorry.
it's okay. So I had to go visit him, right? And the employer told me to go, and then I got an email that because I was not at the property
Wow.
for an extended period of time, he had to let me go.
Stop.
And
That
I went,
is not cool.
You gotta be shitting
Yeah.
me. You gave me permission. So I mean, I had an attorney involved. and
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got his ass, but still.
Emotionally, that
I
must
won't
have
do
been
that
hard.
to you.
Emotionally, I was
It's
like,
really
"Are you kidding
hurtful.
me? Yeah, you can't tell someone to go
Yeah.
and then
Right.
say you left."
Wow.
Like, what?
Yeah.
So I mean, he was clearly looking for reasons.
Yeah.
But he picked the wrong one legally.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So that didn't hurt me. It pissed me off.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
I tend to get, depression, here psychologically, right? Depression and anger are the same thing. It's the way that it's expressed. It's the same lineage. And I tend to, if it's me, if I'm upset with me, I go in and I get depressed. If it's someone else, I go out.
Okay. And
Wow.
do they
So-
both stem from fear?
At times, yes.
At times.
Sure. Yeah. Fear of success,
interesting.
fear of failure.
Yeah.
Like you can have both, which is unique.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So Adam, what about you? Have you ever been very disappointed, even hurt by an employee?
I wouldn't necessarily use the word hurt.
Okay.
Disappointed, sure. Disappointed if someone doesn't show up on time. Disappointed that you rely on somebody, then they don't fulfill that job. And
But like,
then
just give us an extreme example of like something that was really disappointing.
something that was really disappointing was a fellow actor friend.
Okay.
Who I hired. I knew them. They were a friend of mine. And then I got them on this job, and I found out that he was, can we say having sex? Is that all right? Having sex with one of like the PAs in
No
the studio,
way.
and they got caught, and that's kind of drove me
That's
a little
okay.
crazy
Wow.
and
Yeah.
insane.
How many?
Yeah.
Well, because I noticed it was plural. So I mean,
How that's a good. I made it plural.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, crap.
Yeah.
I think it was just one, but maybe
Yeah.
there were more.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe there were more.
He clearly
Yeah.
didn't know what
Yeah.
PA stood for.
Actually, now that I think about it,
Yeah.
PA could stand for
A
many
lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
penis
But
on
that
alert.
that got
Yeah.
under my
I
skin.
thought it went together. The P to the A.
Jason, when was the last time you were really happy that you can
Moment
remember?
ago.
Yay!
I came up with that
just-
joke.
Yay!
When I was really happy, I don't know. I hate to reuse it, but probably that
Pilot,
shoot.
right?
Same.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I
that
think,
seems like you really like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
You were the
what
star of
wanna
that
do.
shoot, right? It was all about
Yes.
you.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
the
Did
main
you-
character.
did you write it
there
as
were
well?
several. What's that?
Did you write it as well?
I did have a production credit because I did help write.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Which
it-
is another thing. They came up to me and they asked, "Do you think you can make this funnier?" And they, on the spot, gave me an associate producer thing. 'cause
Does
I
it have
started
any
directing
connection
people.
to your web series with On the Street?
No.
No, it has
completely
nothing to
different.
do with that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Adam, when was the last time you were very happy?
This is getting deep. Very happy. I am at my happiest when I am busy and when I am working.
Oh, good.
Except I just gave COVID as example when I wasn't busy and I wasn't
Well,
working.
you were busy working, watching the
Yes,
shows.
that was a time when I knew I didn't have to be busy
Yeah.
working. But like a month or so ago, I was really busy working. And I realized, like, I really am enjoying this. I'm out, I'm doing things, I'm meeting people, I'm
There's a
having a good
sense of
time, I'm making
fulfillment.
money.
Yeah.
Yes, so
great.
that was really happy.
That's a good
for me.
answer. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think the next question you guys answered already. Like, what's your biggest fear when it comes to an employer? I think that's a red flag, right? Isn't it the same thing, sort of?
My biggest fear, he hires his friend and I'm a PA. Well, depending on how your friend looks, I don't know. Yeah, that might be thrilling.
Could also be the happiest day of
I
your
could be
life.
the happiest, really.
Life.
Yeah, who knows?
Jason, have you ever lied or tried to
Yes.
exaggerate? The answer is yes. But no, like
Yeah.
really, on an application or when you were interviewing for a job.
okay.
But something that was really like a huge, not just like a little lie, a
No.
huge lie.
I know what you mean. I got one for you.
Okay.
Here we go. So the whole way I got into property management was I created an entire fake resume with a whole bunch of experience
Oh,
from
boy.
New
Yeah.
York when I got here to LA. And then I had 3 different phone lines that rang to 3 different characters that I did the voice for.
Oh my
And then the
Wow.
4th one
That's funny.
was you're hired. And so I basically lied on credit because after a few months I had the experience I talked about. I knew
Wow.
see that's when I was saying I only take jobs I know I can do.
Yeah.
I didn't have proof I could do it, but
Yeah.
I knew I could.
Well, and
then I told them at the end and they laughed and they went, "You
Wow.
gotta be shitting me. That guy was
Wow.
not you." I was like, "No, of course
And-
he wasn't me."
I did property management for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's such a catch-22. You can't get hired
Right.
unless you've done it, and you can't do it unless you get hired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you start?
Y-
you have to
have
lie.
or you have a friend. I would have people that would say, "Mary, can I put you down as a reference that you showed me some stuff
Right.
around the building?"
Yeah.
Or I go out of town for a couple of hours a day,
Yeah.
and then they take over, like on the job
Exactly.
training. thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
when I
it's
told them at the end, they said, you were the best manager we had.
wow.
And I was like,
Wow.
aren't you
Yeah,
glad
it's
I
pretty
lied?
innovative. The 3 phone lines.
The 3 phone lines.
That is
yeah.
a good. Have you put that on TikTok? That's a
Uh,
great idea.
I think
No,
you
I know.
should.
I really
I was
should.
gonna
Yeah.
say
I should just go out and get
the
jobs.
characters.
Yeah.
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 Just
I should
to-
go out and get jobs and be the bullshit reference.
That's
Right.
really funny.
and then charge people to do it for them.
Yeah.
There's a side business.
It's really true. Like when you start interviewing, it's such a process that when it ends, you're like, oh, I kind of want to go out and look for a job
Yeah,
today, and
yeah.
now I got one.
Right.
Yeah.
They're auditions, really.
They're auditions, yeah, and you meet
Yeah.
people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who are these characters? I was thinking of like, Mrs. Doubtfire when they're
Yeah.
calling about, and he's
I
Robin
remember there
Williams
was-
doing all these
Oh, yeah,
characters.
Yeah.
What were these
There was
characters?
one guy, I just remember one that I did. His name was Chadwick Matthews. Of course, Jason was quite literally the best assistant I've ever had.
This is incredible.
Yeah,
It's
no,
neat.
and I just had like 3 different ones.
Wait, were you the reference when I checked your reference? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Can you be my fake references?
You mean Frank? Yeah, I was Frank as well.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah, no,
funny.
absolutely. That's
real
what I
talent.
decided to
Clever.
do.
But how interesting that you knew you have the skill set and you know you can do this job.
Yeah.
and it's
I mean, it was.
you just gotta do what you gotta
I mean,
do.
come on, you're coordinating vendors,
Yeah.
you're leasing an
A
apartment.
lot of people,
sales,
a lot of people though don't know how to manage like that. That's
Yeah.
why your
You
skill
just don't let
set.
it like build up. You just take care of it
Yeah,
immediately, quickly,
I know.
efficiently. And how about my first building had 60 units too?
Wow.
Wow.
In Silver Lake,
I was here. Okay, I was here in this area for about 10 years. Did you ever manage in this area?
West Hollywood.
Okay, West Hollywood. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, it was a historic landmark building where Cecil B. DeMille built
Oh,
it.
wow.
And in the 20s, he used to bring his actors and put them in the buildings.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
It is a great job, but I'm telling you, most people cannot do that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so good for you because
Yeah.
you just knew you had the ability to do it,
Yeah.
and you wrote your own ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
the
went for it.
confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The confidence.
That's what
Yeah.
you're looking
That's-
for. There we go.
There you
Yes.
go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to
I
have
like that.
confidence to lie.
You do, because you're confident that you can do it.
Sure.
I did it right.
Well,
till
it's
you
like
make it.
Spielberg showing up
So
at
proud of you.
Universal.
So
He
proud.
showed up on the lot of
Yeah.
Universal and made his own desk in a vacant office because
amazing.
it is right.
Wait,
Probably
he just walked onto the set.
he
and,
did,
like,
yeah. He
and
just
pretended he worked
absolutely, yep. And Jay Leno also used to do this thing where he'd go into bars. You got to remember, this is 30, 40, 50 years
Sure,
ago,
sure.
right? He'd go into bars and he'd put $50 on the bar and he'd say to the bartender, let me go up and do some jokes. And if people laugh and they start buying more drinks, you double my money. If they don't, you keep this $50. And I'm like, wow, what a great way to say, I want to perform right now,
Yeah.
and you're going to want me to.
Wouldn't
you
it be
know?
great if today the bartender made the decision if you went up or not?
I know, right? Yeah.
We didn't
And-
have bookers 30 years
oh,
ago.
yeah. And to think that we're going to get on the lot of Universal and open up
Oh,
an
can you
office.
imagine?
We're going to be arrested in
So they
seconds.
never had security there, huh?
Well, this was back in
Way
the day.
easier back then.
Right?
Walk
yeah.
up?
But I love those
Those
stories.
are great.
You know what you're doing. You
Yeah.
don't need anyone to
How about
anyone
Jeff
to give you
Bezos
permission.
started
Yeah.
with a bullshit book that was not even for sale. He started the most successful company in the world on a fraudulent sale.
Love
and
it.
he
So the
Sale, I
moral
didn't
of the
know that.
story is we should all lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
know
show
what-
up and create a show
Right.
like Boss Lady
the moral of
is
the
doing.
story is forget morals.
Well, who is the lie hurting? I guess
know.
that's when you lie.
I
Like,
know.
what are we doing? Is it
Yeah.
hurting anybody, or is
Right.
this not going to hurt
Great
anybody?
point.
But
See,
perhaps
that's exactly right. If
Great
you lie
point.
about something and then
Yeah.
you deliver about what
Yeah.
you lied
Yeah.
on, you didn't hurt that person.
Well, that's the thing,
You
Jay-
just had to convince him in a clever way.
Right.
Jay knew that he would be of service that night.
That's
like
telling
sales.
those
It's all
jokes.
sales,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I love that we all agreed on lying.
How did this happen?
Just love it.
I didn't think
Lying
that was going to happen.
connections.
Yeah,
Right.
we lied to be here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yasmine, my name is
Sold each
Jody.
other.
And I'm the biggest.
Yeah, I was on Stephen Colbert.
Sure you were.
So, Adam, have you ever caught someone lying or exaggerating something that they told you they have a lot of experience with?
Have I caught someone lying or telling me that? I can't even think of anything right now. I'm sure I've caught someone lying or exaggerated. What's the question again? I'm sorry.
So, have you ever caught someone, let's say an employer, you hire them, you think they're perfect for the job, but you find out they lied, they don't have the experience, they were exaggerating their skill set?
Interesting. I mean, honestly, my first thought is I go back to my friend who slept with the PA. I mean, He had some
like-
skill sets, but I guess the other skill
Sounds
sets.
like a very traumatizing experience
Yeah, I
for you.
mean, I think his skill sets worked for that PA at that time.
Yeah.
But as far as the job goes, I mean, I think
That's probably not the
No.
best fit.
not the best fit.
Yeah.
I could probably use that person, by the way.
Okay, I'll give them your number, or I'll give.
I have a
them
couple
your-
jobs
Yeah.
lined up. Sounds like a go-getter, really. Yeah.
Jason, if you had a chance to see yourself from 10 years ago, what would you say to yourself?
If I told my former 10,
right.
10 years
you,
ago,
You had an opportunity to see yourself from 10 years ago, and you could just say something to yourself. What would
yeah.
it be?
I don't know, from where the world has gone, I'd probably tell myself, don't worry, porn won't hurt your career. Go for it.
Little
It's,
stock market tips, maybe?
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Buy property, don't just manage
some
them.
lotto numbers, some buildings you should have bought. Some,
Yeah.
There's, oh my God, there's so many things. I'd also probably tell myself 10 years ago, don't expect too much to happen in the next decade. it's not your time yet. Yeah. But, because then, it's less of a letdown if every year you think, it's the year I'm getting a show, right?
Yeah.
But, I don't.
Would you have told yourself to enjoy the ride? Like when you say don't expect too much, do you feel that you're enjoying the ride?
I don't.
Okay. Okay.
I really don't. And,
Okay.
and that's a great question.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he was talking about the impatience and the stuff like that. And then one
Yeah.
of my agents told me, you're the most impatient person
Really?
I've ever known. And also, you're never going to be happy. And I went, would you like to explain that?
Yeah.
And he was like, because you remind me of every A-list client I've ever had.
Wow.
You will get something,
Yeah,
and
won't
as soon
matter.
as you got it,
Yeah.
Wow.
the celebration will be this long,
Yeah.
and then you'll want something else,
Yeah.
and want something more,
It's
and
the
want
internal.
something more.
Yeah.
It's not, in fact, I'm holding my breath right now.
Yeah.
But
No,
isn't that
really,
the personality
it's,
of really driven people to never
You know what?
be happy?
It can be, and sometimes it's a trade-off, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will be success, achieve more and more and more than your fellow man, but maybe you get cancer at the end because you were never happy and you were always tense and angry and
You just
not
never
enjoying the
enjoyed
ride.
life, yeah.
And you really, life is so fleeting. You should enjoy it. No matter, you should try to find the good in it. And that's a flaw of I don't. I'm always looking at the goal. And if I don't get it, I'm pissed, not living in the moment.
I see.
Don't like to live in the past. Pissed at the past, don't like the present, and
Yeah.
looking to the future.
Yeah, angry already at the future.
Angry
Yeah,
already,
yeah.
because I'm going, I know from the past and
Yeah.
what's going on right now how that's going to screw me.
I
You
can
know what I
understand
mean?
that,
So
yeah.
and that's how I live.
Yeah.
So you can kind of ballpark how many good days I have. Yeah, those mood stabilizers do not work.
It's tough to be you,
Like
Jason.
taking an Altoid.
So Adam, what about you? If you had an opportunity to see yourself from 10 years ago, what would you tell yourself?
Well, I feel like we already kind of answered it as far as, enjoying the ride, being happy,
Okay.
relaxing, and just going with the flow. Because I have a tendency, I feel like all of us do, is once you get something, okay, I want something better. And once you
Yeah.
get that, then I want
Yeah.
something better. And I want to keep growing.
that's human
until-
nature, maybe.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's human nature. I don't know if that's more of
Right.
an artist. Or I'm envy of the people who are like always consistently happy, smiling, everything is good. I
Yeah.
think there's something wrong with that.
They piss me off.
Yes, exactly.
You're a little
Here,
And
here.
a lot of the times they
like,
may
find a
not
problem.
be happy.
I've got some.
Maybe they're just pretending. They're just smiling, but they're not.
Yeah.
Really.
There's
Yeah.
probably a
You know
lot of
what I
that
mean?
too.
Yeah.
Like see on social media, enjoy the day. Today's such a great day. I'm so happy.
Well, you know what
I feel
social
like,
media is. It's all.
It's all
you know
fake.
what it
You ever
is.
see someone? I saw someone in a restaurant. It was a girl sitting next to me. She went like this, and then went like her entire face and mood changed. It
Yeah,
was
just for the shot,
here we go."
right?
It was just for that
Yeah.
shot. She looked so happy, and I was like, she's fucking miserable, picking these hashtags.
Can't be happy
So,
doing that.
no.
Throws
Yeah.
her phone when she's
Right.
done.
Yeah.
Starts
be funny.
crying. So, based on the conversation we've had so far, how do you guys rate each other? If you could show me from, maybe 1 to 10 with your fingers. Okay.
Possible employer, we're asking on a scale of 1 to 10. At this point, how likely are you interested in furthering the conversation, and how likely are you for wanting to know more about this employer?
This is like dating. This is very.
Yeah,
It is,
I know.
isn't
Very
it?
interesting.
Yeah.
Are we
But I just don't want
okay.
you guys to say it out loud.
Yeah, I
so
think that's a
that
good
we-
idea. Okay,
that
so
you
we've
guys
got
don't
one
know.
read. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
What, do you
now
give me a one? Do you give me one finger?
No.
it was
The
this
middle
one.
finger.
It's just this.
It
on
was
the
this
other
one.
The thumbs up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Wow, that's fascinating.
Very
Were we
good.
close?
Oh,
I'm not going to answer.
I'm not going to
Oh, okay.
answer.
Oh,
All
we'll
right.
have
not
to
gonna,
watch.
not gonna give
Oh,
it
boy.
away yet.
Okay.
I can't wait to see how I'm rated.
Do we rate you too?
I'm thinking at some point somebody
Feel
has
free to
to
do that at this point.
get rid of this co-host. Then you got something.
Yeah.
Get rid of me.
Rate this show.
Okay.
Get her off.
So the next set of questions are going to be yes or no questions.
Okay.
So if you, I still don't want you guys to hear each other's answers. So give me a thumbs up if it's a yes, thumbs down if it's a no.
Got it.
Okay.
Copy.
Right. So
And we're answering at the same time.
at the same time.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So the question's for both of you.
Okay.
So far, are you interested in getting to know the other person more? That's great.
I think you give me a thumbs down over there.
I did not. Oh, wait,
One
I'm not
person's
supposed to-
just
Well, you're gonna
one
find
person's
out.
just crying, feeling the energy.
I'm over here
of,
like, yeah.
The other person's like,
It's like, no.
I've left. He doesn't even know.
He is so good, so violent, and so friendly.
He's still there.
I'm in the restroom for this. He's like, "See, giving me thumbs down."
that is so funny.
So do you think the other person is impressed by you so far?
Can you do like a?
You could.
What the hell does that mean? You could.
I don't know either.
How do you need guidance on a thumbs up or thumbs down?
I need a lot of help as your employer.
He's
He's like, "Do I
raising
use my pinky?
he's raising his toe. I'm not quite sure what that means.
What's happening? Keep your shoes on."
Have you heard anything so far that was a huge red flag? Interesting.
If he didn't put thumbs down, there's something seriously wrong with him.
You're
Or
like,
thumbs up.
I don't
If he
want to
put
work with
thumbs
this
up,
guy.
There should be red
He
flags.
likes me. Screw him. I would
Yeah.
never trust him.
He should really be afraid.
Have you lied or exaggerated anything during this interview?
Great question. Great.
Can we lie about that?
Might be able to.
If we've been
Okay.
lying the whole time, why would
Okay.
Can
we
we do?
stop?
Why
Is
stop
this
now?
a?
It's not a thing, but maybe you're making it a thing.
I feel like this is a thing,
Okay.
right?
I feel like that's a thing.
Yeah,
All right.
middle of the. Oh,
It is now.
It is now.
I just,
I'm making it a thing.
what could the follow-up questions be with the thumbs? I don't understand. I'm just going up or down here.
I'm making it
You're
complicated.
just making it.
He's doing 45s or
Simple.
something? Like, what's happening?
I'm not sure. Do you think the other person has lied or tried to exaggerate anything during this interview?
I don't
Okay. Sounds good.
I think on podcasts there's always some sort of exaggeration as far as entertainment goes, but not
Okay.
necessarily lying.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Adam's
He gave me
so-
a side thumb, didn't
Adam's so honest.
I know.
Like he even wants to clarify
I
his
know.
rating.
I know.
He's like, disclaimer, I just want you all to know that what I
Right.
mean by this
Right.
is
he? Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
two opposite personalities.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to work for Adam.
Right.
Oh,
That's awesome.
thank you.
You would all hire me. Who would want to work for me? There's a question,
That's a great question.
isn't it?
Would
Thumbs
you,
down, everyone.
Would you hire or work for yourself?
For myself? Mm-hmm. Oh,
You guys love yourselves.
you have to love
like on
yourself.
to-
on
right?
some days. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
yeah, exactly.
On some
That's
days.
funny.
Yeah.
Great. So that was this section. Now the next question is so based on everything you know about the other person so far from this conversation we've had, if you were to order something for the other person, order food, what would you order? What do you think they would like?
Ooh,
Sort of a fun question.
who?
I would get him a Philly cheesesteak, given his Pennsylvania connections.
All right, from New York.
But it's musical theater, so maybe you care a little more. Maybe a tofu Philly cheesesteak.
Go with your first answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like a salad.
Wow. So
I feel like
how-
you'd
how
like
do
a
you-
salad.
That's damn.
Okay.
That's damn
Any
good.
specific kind of salad?
Something that makes them feel light and airy.
Wow, did you nail that?
Did I nail that?
Seems like you guys know each other
Really?
very well.
I love
Light,
light
and airy. I don't think he wants to be greasy,
Yeah.
brought down, low energy. He's got a lot of energy over there. So
Yeah.
I feel like something that is going to keep that energy up and not make him
Cool.
feel down.
Yeah, he nailed it with the Leafs.
That's great.
Nice leaf guy.
Okay.
Crunchy
So
nuggets.
how do you feel about his choice for you?
Oh my God.
I think it's
I think that's why sometimes I have such low energy because I love greasy food. I
Okay.
love like a Philly cheesesteak and French fries and pizza. I eat like a 6-year-old. But yeah, that's
That's
a Philly
interesting.
cheesesteak. He had it right. I would
Good.
totally eat a Philly
I'm
cheesesteak
glad.
for
Wow.
sure.
How about that? We nailed
Yeah.
our food up.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And you're happy. You're pretty happy with the salad.
I'll eat that salad.
Yeah.
I just said a light and airy salad.
you
but
guys
I might go
really-
to Tender Greens right after
Yeah,
this.
you guys really know each other now.
Yeah. You might, we're actually friends in real life.
Right. Right.
We said nothing.
Jason, how
Yeah.
has this experience been for you?
I loved it.
Yeah.
This is a daily for me. I could do.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, I
awesome.
really enjoy it.
I'm curious, did the blind, partition, did it encourage you to be more open, or would you be this way if you were face to face with the
I
potential?
could be this. Honestly, I could be this.
It has no
way
effect on you.
With a fence between us,
Right.
or if I was speaking
Wow,
to
that's
100
interesting.
people.
How about you,
That's very
Adam? Did it
interesting.
have any effect on you?
I think the only thing that it had an effect on was, I want to see this person that I'm necessarily interviewing.
Yeah.
And so, with all the
Anticipation?
anticipation,
Yeah.
talking about his aqua shirt and just the energy and the funny stories.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got to see who this person
I'd love to
is.
be in something like this. Like, I would love to be questioned or be on one side of that without
Yeah,
seeing
sounds-
it. It
sounds
seems
interesting.
super
I'm jealous.
fascinating. Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're talking to a profile that has no picture.
Yeah, this is
Right.
like
Yeah.
Grindr.
It is.
Really?
Kind of, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Wow. There's no photos on Grindr?
Oh, no, there's,
Oh,
Oh, there's
okay.
a lot of
yeah,
photos.
I was gonna
but
say.
sometimes you have to ask for them.
yeah.
Oh,
Like unlock your album.
Is that when you first get on Grindr,
Like-
or do you like conversation before?
Like for instance, it would say he's 8 feet away from me right now.
Wow. Yeah. And this
I am
is
talking about you, babe.
and this
over
is
there.
this is explaining Grindr to Mary Gallagher.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so now's the time to remove the divider. And
Shall I do it?
For our guests to see each other.
nervous.
Yeah, let's
I'll
do
do it. I'll
Let's-
do it. Yeah.
Thank you, Mary.
Is this where it all goes downhill? Once we see each other?
This is yeah.
This is so exciting, you guys.
this show, and this is my job.
This is so exciting.
Like he didn't tell me he had no teeth.
Whoa!
Oh, hey, how are you?
Good. This is the aqua shirt.
This is it. I
Looking
didn't
like
change.
a stud. Yes. And a stud I would hire.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you're a stud I would work for. How about that?
Yes.
That's
This is going
the-
good. We'll
How do
see
you
each
like
other
that?
on Grindr later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
That's
how I get
hilarious.
hired all the time.
Just remember who set you up.
That's true.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you, Yasmine.
So describe the other person with 3 words.
Should I go first?
It's up to you. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, 3 words?
3 words.
Ball of energy.
Oh.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'd
Yeah.
have to
I
make sure
really
it was
like
3
that.
words. I had to count that.
Yeah, that
out.
was
Yeah.
good.
I thought you meant 3 descriptors.
It could be 3.
You
Yeah.
meant a
that.
sentence
Oh.
with
No,
three
no,
No, you could do
I love where you went
descriptors.
with that,
I-
though. I was
That's
gonna
what
be
came into my
like-
I
mind.
do too.
Yeah.
though.
You're like, I'm of.
Yeah, I was like, where's gregarious?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say there is kindness that I hear from him. That you're,
Oh, that's great.
like just in general, your answers
Yeah.
seem like someone that came from a genuinely kind person, not someone trying
you.
to be kind.
Yeah, I agree with that. He really
Yeah.
does. He is.
That was a lot of words. I think way more than 3
No,
words.
there is kindness.
Yeah.
And then I
Oh,
added a
There
bunch.
is a kind. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
I feel like you to answer
guess I should
something
have
in
been more
just 3 words
clear.
is very difficult, right?
It's very difficult.
It is very difficult. Great. Well, thank you guys both. The
Thank you.
last
Thank you.
question is, are you interested in a second interview or to move this conversation forward?
I guess is that am I the?
I guess it's for both of us.
It's for both. It's for both.
Yeah, I like I like his creativity. I'm
Yeah.
curious. I mean, when he talked about the 3 different voices he did, I mean, that's something that potentially could be used in what we're creating. I mean,
That's great.
That
Wow.
seems like a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's coffee at this point, minimally.
coffee. I think that's
Let's
a
for
fair
sure
response.
get some coffee.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
where you
bring
finish
your
this.
voices.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring
And
my
talk
voice.
eye to eye,
Yeah.
face to face.
Yeah. No, I think we
Yeah.
should still have that in the Starbucks.
We'll bring it with us. Yeah.
I'll set it up
Just
for
put
you.
a big divider, like when you were a kid in school. taking
Everywhere
the
you
tests,
go,
you know?
everywhere you go, the divider's there.
Everywhere.
We have a great working relationship.
Exactly.
That's how these guys get along.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Divider.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for
Thank
being here
you.
today and
Thanks
for
doing this
having us, yeah.
interview. It was so much fun. I feel like we learned a lot about you. I hope you feel the same.
No, this was
Yeah.
fun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, and I think this is a new opportunity for us to do an interview in a different way.
Yeah.
And just really show our personalities and be genuine and honest, and I really appreciate it. And Mary, thank you so much for helping me with all of this.
Yasmine, I had a blast. I would love to be a part of this really great job. It was really, really fascinating. And you guys, it was just so much fun to sit and get to know you both
Yeah.
and to work with you. I loved it.
Thank you all.
Yeah,
Thank
great
you.
job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.